Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about how to communicate with other people. And I think that in a lot of cases people are thinking, what should I say? What should I do? How should I respond when people are talking to me? And people get a little freaked out, especially people with social anxiety. And they don't realize that communication is really kind of just listening. And I'm going to explain this. So I've read two books. In this specific category. It's How to Win and Influence Friends, and I believe the other one is Speak, Listen, and Validate. I'll actually link them below. And these books have changed the way that I communicate with people. So when you are communicating with someone, the first thing you want to do is actively listen. Like actively listen. Don't think about what am I going to say next, or let me hold on to that thought because I want to comment back. Don't consistently think about what you're going to say. Just listen, and it will just naturally flow. And the reason why I say actively listen is because people appreciate, and you begin to build this natural rapport with people when you are actively listening rather than you trying to speak. Because when the person is consistently letting their thoughts and their emotions out, they feel comfortable. They won't feel judged. They know that you're actively listening, because I'm pretty sure, just think about it, if someone was just listening to you talk, isn't that just, we all just want that sometimes. And if you're giving that to someone, when every time they communicate with you, they're gonna want to talk to you all the time. They're gonna feel comfortable with you, and it's gonna naturally build a rapport. And as you continue to do that, they'll be more open with you. Now, doing this, you should obviously be the type of person who is trustworthy and someone who doesn't have a big mouth. You really want to be able to be a friend for that person, and actively listening is like a huge sign of a potential friendship or a good partner in somebody. So actively listening is number one, and really listen. You have two ears for a reason, so really listen. And if you don't have 2 ears, that's fine if you cannot hear, but that's just how the saying goes. So in addition to that, the second thing is, when you are in deep communication, and let's say that you really know this person, is validation. I've noticed that when I talk to people, or, I don't like to complain, but if you do complain, sometimes you just want someone to listen to you. See, there it goes again. You really just want an ear sometimes. And sometimes people are so ready to give their 2 cents, right? They're like, well, why'd you do that? Or, well, maybe you should do this. And I already know what I should be doing. I already know that this was supposed to happen. I know that they weren't supposed to act like that. Sometimes you just want someone to listen. So in that case, by you actively listening, you should validate someone's emotions, because to an extent, even reading Human Ethics from Robert Greene, the one who wrote 48 Laws of Power, he talks about in his book how we are all irrational to some extent, and we are all emotional. We are all emotional beings, unless you are a sociopath or a psychopath, which is a brain disorder. And I think it's a very small percentage of the world that doesn't have that natural emotion. So we can all be irrational to an extent, and sometimes we just want to be validated in those emotions. Some of us, most of us, it's when you communicate with someone and they're speaking to you, just say, wow, that's crazy that happened, or did you talk to her about that? Or, wow, I'm sorry you feel like that. Or, wow, that you have every right to have that emotion, just to validate that emotion. Now, if your friend is doing something absolutely insane and she's telling you that she's going to do something insane, or she was completely wrong, be her friend and let her know. But for the most part, validation and actively listening is key. And I promise you, if it is your goal to build a friendship, if it's your goal to become more of an easygoing person, you should be an active listener. Because I've had so many people come up to me and they're like, wow, you're so outgoing, or wow, we have great conversation. And I'm not saying anything. At least to the extent that I used to talk. I'm genuinely listening and wanting to understand the person. And I realize that they appreciate that way more than me just trying to tell them about myself, trying to convince them to tell them about myself. And I feel happier understanding the people that I'm with and getting to know who they truly are. So actively listening is It's so beautiful. So I hope that you guys learned something from this video and it is actively listening and validating our human emotion. So I hope that you guys have an absolutely great day, and like and subscribe if you'd like more videos. Please let me know in the comments what else you'd like to hear.